Okay, the stream should be starting relatively soon. I just want to double check a couple things. And the views started kicking up, but I have to make sure YouTube thumbnails all good to go. One moment, please. Boop boop, go live. Here we go. The YouTube stream is fixed or up to date. Let me make sure Rumble is good to go. That looks like Rumble is good. Twitch seems good. I just need to double check and make sure the what's it called? Holy, that music's getting a bit loud. Probably my headset was a bit loud. Make sure my other computer. Wow, there's a Twitch ad going on my stream that's like 30 seconds long. Jeez. But yeah, it looks like everything's good to go on my other screen, on my other computer. So it looks like the Rumble stream's up and going, YouTube streams appears to be going as well, and the Twitch stream. So I think everything is sorted out. So let's go ahead and get started. You know, did send me a best of, I think a best of 5 series, or it's a best of 4. Send me things. Best of 4, keep best of 5. I can always fix that in post, so I'm probably going to edit those together, but I'll go ahead and get them all recorded. Can I do that right now? Let's do one game to get my voice all warmed up, and I really need to get another drink next to me, so while one of these games load, I'll go and grab a drink. Drink from nearby. There we go. Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Red Alert 3 replay. Spawn on our right side as the red allies, we have Delta 7. Spawn as the blue Empire player, we have Superpower. We got an immediate dojo, into a dojo, into a dojo, but before all that was an instant generator. And boy was it instant. We also got some refiners coming out now, so it's going for a triple dojo opener. Like we're going to pull out. Oh, there's the doggy. Even the doggy may get crushed. And over here, got another dog coming on forward as well. And the engineer is making his way to the oil refinery. Oil derrick. Blah. I get those. I don't know why I get the word oil and ore mixed up way too often. I think I don't really see the word ore all too much, unless back when I was playing Minecraft. To be fair, Minecraft is a good game for all ages. There's a doggies heading up north. We got this oil derrick claimed by the Empire player, so both sides have their oil derrick, and now we do have these Imperial warriors advancing with the support of Dojo Corps. I can go for honorable discharge to help with the crushes, because it's likely not going to last very long. Not necessarily crushes, but kills. Because I suppose it's not simply crushing them. Though I suppose a giant pressure wave would technically be crushing them. Of course, he does get inside the garrison there as well. Good number of peacekeepers may want to get out of the garrisons now to help engage this engagement. It does find himself quite a bit of damage there on one of the peacekeepers. Try pursuing it. It does do a nice little split there to avoid the splash damage there, and that shot did come forward on top of the dojo. And we'll go ahead and crush those 5 or 3 peacekeepers there with the Dojo Corps, and does manage to get no slices there. Crushes out a good number of peacekeepers right there as it goes through one of them as well. Vindicator's coming forward, does get some good bomb splits there. And looks like the Imperial Warriors will win out thanks to the excellent crushes and micro by the... Oh, I suppose the allied player did try to do as much micro as possible. Does spot this chopper VX. This is very early Tier 2 Mecha Bay Core. The ally player did a good job microing to avoid the bonsai charges, but with that Dojo Core just made it so the shields were just not effective. Can't get my words straight today. Oro deck is under siege. We got these Chopper VXs or Striker VXs pushing way forward. Does get a kill there on a burst drone. There's currently 2 Vindicators out and 1 Apollo. Got these 3 Imperial Warriors that could perhaps hide in that garrison, but won't exactly give them a nice bit of aggression. But the walls around this region will prevent him from goes for the bomb run, and does get pretty good bomb micro there. It's 2 of those Imperial Warriors, but was unable to get the 3rd. The one side of the oil deck's not a huge issue. The oil derrick has been cleaned up as well. Over in the sea, we do have Imperial Docks being deployed out. There's a Dogi that is spotted it. And Apollo is on the field. We've got multiple Striker VXs advancing, but there's, of course, now there's a handful of Javelin troops. One Imperial Warrior, he's very, very close to death, so the Javelin troops should be able to clean it up without taking too many losses, too much damage. Big bombing run there. May have killed the Imperial Warrior while at it. Yes, it did. And does take out the Apollo there with the Striker VXs. He only gets out some Jet Tank or Mecha Tengus or some Tsunami Tanks to engage these Javelin troops. Either a good possibility. Tsunami can, of course, get some good crushes. Yari mini subs, however, coming on as well as a single Mecha Tengu. But Mecha Tengus, of course, are more geared to anti-infantry, while the I'm drawing a blank. Some tanks can, of course, get the crushes as well as nano deflectors, help give them lots of longevity. But the Prospector does go down. Not sure it's due to the Mecha Tengu or to the Yari mini sub. The Yari mini sub is still around. Now I've got a handful of Jet Tengus flying about. With the support of the nearby Chopper or Striker VXs, he should be able to withstand the Apollos. Also find a couple bullets there as well. And now I do got a single multi-gunner IV, and multi-gunner IVs, of course, can hit all targets. Just not all too well. Let's hop on down right there. He doesn't get the kill there on this Mecha Tengu. It does pull him back to the Mecha Bay Core. Not bad. Getting some of these severely wounded up and repair it up really does help out in the long run. It just takes a lot of micro. Bombing run does come on forward. Those are Ore Collector in a low power or low damage, low health state. Blah, can't speak. And the Multi-Gunner IFVs does advance. One does go down. One of the Jet Tengus go down as well. Chopper VX is trying to engage. Jet Tengus flying back as well. Does get the kill there on the Multi-Gunner IV, but overall the Empire player did lose some more forces. Another instant generator going on down. We got another ore refinery going on down. Red has void out, of course, the ore refinery here. This one is either was sold or destroyed. I don't see. There's Yari Mesa up. Doesn't have efficiency like he did sell it off. Because I'm pretty sure if an ore refinery goes down, that's going to give veteran seat to a Yari mini sub. Though I have no evidence to back up my claim. When the Apollos do go down, Guardian tanks are now in the mix. A couple of tank busters coming on out as well. Tank busters are, of course, very, very good versus the ground forces. And this Mecha Tengu does receive quite a bit of fire right there. This is going to be a bit of a ground war for the time being. Okay, that's a building. I thought first it put in max clearance, but it's actually a building being deployed out. Could be meant for an ore refinery down here. And it looks like that ore collector does get cleaned up by the Vindicators. Does get a nice bit of missiles there from the Multi-Gunner IFVs. It is a boot camp actuality. Tsunami tanks are advancing, just find a couple shots there. The Javelin troops could take time to destroy that observation post if he wants to get a better engagement. Or the Empire player could as well. Right now it's a large structure in the middle of a very narrow relative choke point. Some damage was inflicted there. We got the Javelin troops advancing, getting some good damage in as well. Does hop down, does go off one of the Peacekeepers, but does pay for it from the Mecha Tengus. One of the Tsunami tanks is severely wounded, but still alive at the moment. He is keeping these tank busters alive, but it looks like all of them do get crushed right there. The Guardian tanks are falling on back as well. Got a good amount of damage going on in 3 or 4 of the Guardian tanks are still alive. The Empire player has lost his impound of force, and he does want to deploy these Striker VXs, the Chopper VXs, because he doesn't want to lose his anti-aircraft forces. There's a lot of force going down the Empire player, but does get a nice honorable discharge there. A lot of these Guardian tanks are severely wounded, but unable to get the proper honorable discharges. Striker VX is now getting hit quite significantly. Good shotgun blast onto the tank busters. Peacekeepers were fully heroic, taking a bit of time to clean up. And now there's 4 now unvetted Peacekeepers in the mix. A couple of Tsunami tanks are now in the mix as well. I could go for some big crush there. Got a nice cryo blast right onto the tank busters, getting 3 of the 4 of them frozen. These Guardian tanks are being cleaned on up. They're oh so wounded, but right now they are current. The Nanoflex is currently engaged. Let's clean that one up there. All the Guardian tanks are now down. Now the Guardian tank gets advanced to try and get some crushes. And looks like these Peacekeepers are going to be crushed. Got a pair of 1 Guardian tank versus 2 Tsunami tanks. 2 extra Guardian tanks to advance. 1 Tsunami tank is currently remaining. We've got a good number of tank busters in the mix. You may want to get some pure warriors as well. He does have his 3 Striker Chopper VXs still alive. And the Apollo is now advancing. He does find the Chopper VXs. They have transformed to a Striker VXs. Over here, we've got the Yari Mesa patrolling around, but there's nothing in the sea for him to engage. Now you got a single Cryocopter, but he does have a good number of Striker VXs. Mecha Tengu, Jet Tengu does go down there. He does go nice and transform at the last moment. 1 Guardian tank is down to the last sliver of health. Best send it back to get it repaired up. Peacekeepers are advancing. Tsunami tanks are trying to go for a massive crush. Nanoflectors have been activated with the support of the point defense drones. They would absorb a lot of shots there, and it looks like they will go and top off the health of the nano deflectors. Cryocopters now advancing. And we got now a single Apollo for air support or anti-aircraft support. Try and get the freezer refinery as well. That's going to start immediately building that ore collector, but both gets cleaned up, giving immediate elite efficiency to that Vindicator. Now if 1 bomb remains, going eye for the naval expansion. It doesn't even go for the Prospector, it goes straight for the refinery, which currently he's not really paying attention. There's a cryo blast being utilized right here. 2 of the tank busters have been frozen, and we do also got an anti-infantry multi-gun turret here. Ore refinery does go down. Of course, neither player is a Soviet, so neither player can crush their ore collectors. Striker BXs have to be on the defensive now, trying to deal with these Cryocopters. Does get some good damage in there. He may need to fall back to the airfield or to this armor facility to get some repairs. 3 Cryocopters, 3 repair drones. Over at the sea, but the Apollo's now flying about, going a bit of a sortie. The ore arcade is going to be bombed. You keep this ore collector in a nearby region, ready to replace a ore collector that may go down. Flying out the Defender Core, going immediately put into aircraft mode to engage the Cryocopters. With 3 Cryocopters, that could be enough to freeze that turret before it gets a even single kill. Wave Force Artillery has been deployed down the field. That is some heavy artillery. Does get one of the guys shrunk in there. Does take out one of the Guardian tanks there as well. He's probably experienced with a premature discharge. Does get good hit there on that Guardian tank. And like premature discharge there. Let's go ahead and shrink the Wave Force Artillery down. It is out of range at the moment and will need to fall back. Another multi-gun turret has been pulled out. The tank could advance, but there's so many peacekeepers in this region. Maybe a final squadron would be quite helpful, or some balloon bombs. A couple more Wave Force Artillery now coming in. Last time checked, he had 3 Cryocopters. That means 3 shrinks. And yet he immediately utilized them on the Rogue Forces. These Wave Force Artillery, however, not in the engagement as well. He started lining up some of the backline units. Jonathan's getting some great crushes there. He's back at a massive crowd getting there, freezing down these forces, but also allows the Wave Force Artillery to fire at long range. Now the Chopper BX is getting hit by all the anti-aircraft forces, and all the tank busts managed to actually stay alive in that engagement, which is actually massive. That gives a front line for these Wave Force Artillery. Cryocopters go completely down to those Striker BXs. Now the Empire player can advance. He has a sizable artillery force. He's lacking peacekeepers for defense as well, so not only this artillery force is also a good anti-vehicle force as well. As well as something to take out these structures. Takes out that multi-gun turret now. Vindicator's coming in for a big bomb run. Doesn't even get a single Wave Force Artillery right there. That boot camp won't last very long. Guardian tanks now advancing as well. He may go for a crush move on the tank busters. Chopper BX has also come forward as well. Does get a nice transform. They're getting some kills there. Peacekeepers opposing distance. Does get a double kill there with that Wave Force Artillery. Now the Wave Force Artillery has to fall back. He overran. This one, however, can stand and fight. Needs to hit one of those guys. Get a good charge shot off. But hitting the guys in the front. It's sort of hard to get targeting with these guys. You need to make sure, because it takes time to, of course, charge up. Apparently, Wave Force Artillery can't crush infantry. I saw that Peacekeeper there. I thought Wave Force Artillery could crush infantry, but I guess not. Never really had a division that's really pop up in the first place. Wave Force Artillery now receiving some shots there from the that's from the heroic Guardian tanks. There's also some missiles up to that Cryocopter there, but he needs a bit more of a front line. Immediately gets reshrunken there, since he's able to provide continuous shrinking there. Still got the Defender Core there, but not in anti-aircraft mode. So now needs to go ahead and pack, get crushed, and does crush all except for one Peacekeeper there. Now he's going to try to crush the freeze down that Mecha Bay Core. You'd like to get it because he doesn't really have access to anti-aircraft. He needs to build out a single Chopper Striker BX, and there's the freeze there. And likely get unfrozen relatively soon. That's not a very long duration freeze. This other Defender Core is still in anti-ground mode. Does get that one frozen. And now these guys are getting frozen as well. Goes another Mecha Bay Core. Didn't wait for his first one to go down. Guardian Defender Core is getting some good damage there. Puts in anti-aircraft mode, maybe a little bit too early, but this one does get anti-aircraft mode now. Gets some good damage there. And we've got that sleeper ambush now advancing, trying to get these, what's it called? Multi-gunner IFVs. So let's get a number of freezes there. Cryo BX, Cryocopters does get a low power state thanks to the fact that the power generator does get frozen. We also got a Mecha Bay core here, not fully built, or built at all. And these generators being frozen is putting them in low power state. Dizzy infantry forces may just need to advance and may force these Cryocopters to fall back. Going for the Mecha Bay core now, or Mecha Bay now. And freezes down the MCV, and the MCV itself provides power. If the generator's back online, he must... he still has a naval dock, which he could upgrade that to tier 2 to get out more tsunami tanks, but he has to be relying on sea wings for anti-aircraft purposes then. Those force skills clean on up, and there's too many multi-gunner IFVs here. All this getting frozen up. And the Defender core is still low power as well. He needs to sell off the Mecha Bay core to get that. He doesn't have the power generator as well, so it doesn't look good for the Empire play. I think he's out of the game at this moment. Yeah, even if it does say in the game, he will not have any anti-aircraft forces anytime soon. He's building an engineer here. Maybe a good idea to get out a sudden transport. But even then, he could perhaps only grab a boot camp, and it'd be a bit hard to grab that stuff, and he does back up the game. This is Angry saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. There we go, my little bit of warm up of the day, and now time for, let's see, this one right here. Time for this best of 4 series I was submitted into. So let's go ahead and get started. Greetings everyone, and Grade here. This is a best of 4 replay series, I believe. Spawn on the right side as the red allies, we have UNO. Spawn on the left side as the magenta Soviets, we have Davinov. We got a single barracks being deployed on out. We got a single bear being deployed on out. Over here, we do of course got, it looks like a power plant into, let's see, is this fast airfield? Yes, fast airfield. The bear will be rushing forward. We'll spot the fact there's no infantry whatsoever, no dogs, no peacekeepers, no nothing. So he will likely see the fact that this is a fast airfield. I don't think he actually saw vision of the airfield, but he has probably a good idea that it is. Vindicator on his way forward. The oil deck has been claimed. I'm not so sure where he's flying about. No battle bunker being deployed out either. Another Vindicator being deployed out as well. Bombs the bear there with his original Vindicator. The fresh one will go ahead and bomb the oil derrick. So he's just going to go ahead and bomb the oil derrick to death. We do got, of course, the oil refinery here, as well as a flak cannon, as well as a bullfrog. Maybe a good idea to throw some flak troopers in there as well. Does this de-garrison one of the conscripts and does throw it onto the high ground. And that conscript could take time to destroy the neutral oil derrick, but immediately gets bombed. A little bit overkill there. You only need 1 bomb for a conscript. Another conscript does get loaded on up, and this one was launched next to the structure, and immediately will get inside and get out of this weather. Tropical weather is not exactly great. Who needs AC? You don't need AC in Hawaii. That's apparently what they say in Hawaii. You don't need AC. Good bombing run there on the ore collector. Good pursuit there of the Vindicators. However, there was not enough time to get a kill. Another Vindicator is now being deployed, eyeing the bomb, perhaps this garrison, or perhaps the oil derrick. Nope. Or ore refinery. I always get the word oil derrick and ore refinery mixed up. The oil derrick, however, has been killed off already. Vindicators coming for a bomb run onto the garrison, or perhaps on the ore refinery. So we play is going for a fast triple refinery. We do got naval expansion out for the allied player as well, so it's actually quite similar. No Oil Derrick is still neutral and still at full health. Now here comes the Bullfrogs. Something may have been shot down. Could have been a Bullfrog. Could have been Vindicator. See, this is like the first build spot, if I remember correctly. Or could be that could be the last. The ore collector could be killed off. He doesn't get the up armored state on quick enough, and doesn't get the up armor state. He wants to get these Vindicators nice and close for a nice Bullfrog. Nice up armor there, very nice. And he will go ahead and retreat back through the north to avoid any additional Bullfrog fire. We got a single Riptide here, as well as the MCV. The Terror Drone now advancing, hasn't not been able to do all too much there. It does get the Engineer out, and it has captured the Oil Derrick. Because the conscript on the inside has been set to aggressive stance to be able to shoot at that Oil Derrick. He'll ever so slowly get it. Now we do got a Hammer Tank here, but he will be fighting against 3 Riptides. With the support of the other Hammer Tank and the Terror Drone, they should be able to win out no problem. But the Vindicators can change the game quite quickly. Oh, that one was loaded up with Javelin troops. Does utilize the Leech Beam there. Does give himself a free anti-infantry gun there. Ooh. That was a mistake, wasn't it? That is now inefficient mining from a prospector and sells it off and had to rebuild it. That was a big mistake right there. Though we can still use the prospector to deploy out a command hub if needed. You can also deploy it and sell it off as well to get a bit more rebate. Javelin troop does go down there, as well as the Riptide. Let's go for a bomb run there, but loses one Vindicator, almost loses a second one there. That one should be able to escape on out. Yes, they do go ahead and escape on out. Now do got a pair of bears on the field as well. A cool subs on the field, but those Riptides are engaging, doing a good job of splitting the damage, and does take out the cool sub right there. That's not giving it any efficiency. Oil Derrick is still receiving quite a bit of fire. Ultra Torpedoes does connect there. Vindicator's coming into a supporting bombing run. Does get a nice bombing run there and takes the cool sub. Now we do got a command hub out at sea from the extra prospector you got. And does get a Peacekeeper in here and was trying to clear out the garrison. And does get a nice Molotov off there to kill off the guy with the shield. Remember, Molotovs kill shielded guys in one hit. Now we got the Laser Lock Javelin. This Oil Derrick needs repairs. And the conscript takes out the Oil Derrick. Give enough time and enough bullets, you can take out Oil Derrick all by yourself with an AK-47. Fire shot does come forward as well. Was unsuccessful hitting the ore collector. Throws a bomb there onto the ore refinery. Must be out of that was the last bomb. And quite a bit of damage on the naval yard, but these Riptides have more damage on them. And next couple of torpedoes will take out that Riptide as well. Subs now advancing. We're gonna hit this naval expansion. Terror Drone does manage to snare himself a multi-gunner IFE, but we do have these Javelin troops quickly taking out that Terror Drone. They also got shrunken hammer tanks, so that means there was at least one cryocopter. Not sure if it's still alive. We got another seaport being put out here. This one is deploying its command hub for its prospector has turned into a command hub. does sell off that expansion as well. Now the command hub will likely be sold off next, assuming he doesn't kill it off. And we got the Cryocopters now freezing down this ore collector. He has not sold off that either.
Who's looking for a good pounding?
And we got these hammer tanks to get shrunk down. Those subs are right there, and now we got this dolphin advancing, trying to harass this naval expansion. The ore collector does back away from it. Now the Terror drone's coming in to eat the dolphin, get some fresh dolphin meat. And both those dolphins do get it cleaned on up. We do got the Prospector seeing quite a bit of fire right there. And we got two cool little subs right here. Does get frozen right there. Very nice. Now we do got not a single MiG, but 3 MiGs and 3 Bullfrogs for air superiority. Moonblade has been deployed on out. And now he will spot the seaport. The seaport, of course, will be quickly destroyed. Ultra torpedoes have connected. Whatever's being built has been cancelled and sold off. These Cryocopters have received quite a bit of fire. 1 do go down. 2 of the MiGs go down in return. However, there's a lot of anti-aircraft forces here. 3 Multigunner IFVs and about 7 Javelin troops. A good number of flak troopers here as well, which will be used for those Cryocopters, as well as a handful of Bullfrogs. Maybe a good idea to get this garrison filled with a handful of flak troopers as well, just to dissuade the aircraft. Indicator does not get a bomb run in. He may be saving from cryo shot. He does have a pair of Cryocopters to reach as well. Brings down one of the Bullfrogs now. And now got the Red Forces, ground forces are advancing as well, but I think Vegeta has good enough defenses to hold it off. Cryo Blast being deployed now. Does shrink down one of the hammer tanks. And satellites not being rained in. Let's just level 1 satellites, so 3 Sputniks will land. Let's get that frozen there, but then freeze it for long, so we'll get quickly unfrozen. This cool sub still camping that spot there, and this cool sub is camping this spot here, denying the extra expansions for Red. The Red is maintaining 3 refineries, while Magenta is at 4. We also got a Tesla Trooper. A pair of Tesla Troopers have been deployed now, which would be effective versus everything. Maybe it'll lock down the Guardian Peaks, especially if they go for some crushes. Peacekeepers are getting some great damage there, and the Tesla Troopers does take them out. Aerodrome does get cleaned up as well. Couldn't get any kills onto the Peacekeepers. And that Tesla Trooper does go down. Doesn't get the roar off on the bear, so that one doesn't go off as well. And does get a decent roar right there, getting number of the forces. Another bear comes out forward, another bear comes out forward. And that one does get a roar off, getting 1 extra unit, as well as refreshing the stuns on his forces. Hammer takes out advances as well, getting a lot of damage on in. The Guardian Peaks trying to fight, but their infantry escorts are starting to go down a little bit. Cryocopters coming in advance, trying to shrink the number of those hammer tanks there. This trooper does get a kill there. As well as we've got more and more conscripts pushing the way forward. We've got these hammer tanks trying to siphon off some extra health. And And that barracks will going down. That's gonna be eyeing to get that ore refinery. Another barracks being deployed.
Somebody's looking for trouble.
Large requires a line of sight blocker. And that ore refinery does go down. The horse does get cleaned on up. Got another Warbear Roar, getting some nice stuns all across the line. Does get that one frozen, however. More bears are likely going to come forward as well. One, the Terror drones had affected the Guardian Peak there. Red's making some advanced balls. Infantry force, Apollo's coming in. Does take up the MiGs there as well. Cryo Blast being deployed out on the reactor and on the War Factory. War Factory may not get frozen there, but the reactor does get frozen. But he still has plenty of power thanks to that super reactor. Speaking of which, the super reactor is now under siege. We see quite a bit of fire there, trying to solve some walls, which he does do successfully. Another Terror drone has come forward as well, trying to get it frozen. It does go in force fire, cleaning up that Terror drone. Another Terror drone was deployed out, immediately killed off, and now got the War Factor going down. This may be game. We got the satellites now raining on in. Gets some good hits there onto that Tesla, Crusher crane right there, and Magenta is back out of the game. And it's the end of game number 1. And now on to game number 2. And here we are with game number 2. On spot on the bottom left side, or top right side, as the Magenta Soviets. Of course, we have Davinov, and as the Red Allies, of course, we have Yuno. It's Yuno. Of course, got some bears being deployed out, and this time, not fast airfield, going for the boot camp. We got the dog. Is it going to be dog eat bear world, or is it bear eat dog world? Both sides have gone for one bear, one dog. Another dog being deployed out. Multiple dogs now being deployed on out. Third dog, or should I say fourth. And that dog and bear both failed. And now Red's dog is advancing. May just want to... Okay, does go to kill there. If you were to actually initiate attack at that point in time, probably would have been a mutual kill. Could have been safer to go for a second bark there, just to make sure you don't lose your dog. Speaking of which, we got another dog versus bear. Number of defensive dogs in this region. And conscripts may either way forward those garrisons. Does get a nice roar there with the bear, and the dog will go down. Go get down. Looks like these garrisons are being filled up by the peacekeepers. Well, not sure how many, but it's probably not going to be fully filled. I think what, both can hold up to 5, or maybe both can hold up to 8. Yep, they both can hold up to 5. Just only 3 across the 2 at the moment. I heard something. Ready, sir? What's the trouble? Is that the naval seaport deploying out Riptide? Yep, that was the Riptide. We got, of course, got another airfield deploying out, like bringing out some Vindicators. There is a single sickle here as well, and the garrison have been abandoned. It does get inside this garrison down the bottom of the ramp. We got another refinery being pulled out by the Soviet. The dog, of course, does spot it. Sickle now advancing. We may see the Terror drone going down. That's a lot of peacekeepers inside those. Conscripts are going to get inside the garrison as well. That should be almost maxed out on both of them. I think there's actually one spot still open for both of them. Vindicators coming for a bomb and run. Does get the Terror drone there as well. Good attempt at a dodge, but just not the right target to dodge with. A lot of AK-47 fire onto the Riptides. These guys are filled with peacekeepers. They do get out the Riptides now. This one has received quite a bit of fire as well. These peacekeepers have been left behind. The Vindicators could come in for some bomb runs. Perhaps onto the walls themselves. Nice dodge there. And it does get inside this garrison as well. That should be a good hard point for these peacekeepers. The ore collector could try going back in the refinery line to get and wall up the rest of that section, though the Riptides may be in the way. This Riptide does need to be focused out first. It's oh so wounded. And the peacekeepers are getting some good damage there onto these sickles. One of the sickles do go down. This one's trying to go for the Riptides, but does get cleaned up so far. The other Riptide has gone down as well. Sickles has jumped away and does go to re-wall up the region and needs to get that ore collector back up and running. I don't think the ore collector actually went down, so I'm not sure where it's at the moment. No crusher crane for it either, so maybe he actually went down. The garrison was cleaned up by the conscripts as well, as these wounded sickles do get annihilated by the shotguns. One of the peacekeepers does get burned alive by a Molotov. Notice he's starting to force fire the ground right there. Vindicators coming for a bombing run. Not sure where though. That may have been just him trying to get the low ground with the high ground, not away from the Vindicators. Vindicators flying about. Got these two bears down here. The garrison's still claimed. And now we've got a single cryocopter. One of the Riptides does get snared by the Terror drone. And now we've got a ham tank now coming forward to leech down that Riptide. That's going to get the freeze there and does go and destroy that Prospector as well. That Vindicator Bullfrog does get cleaned up by the Riptides. Cryocopter does get a nice little shrink there. Desolator Strike does come forward, does kill the heroic Peacekeeper, and these last guys will get ran over by those hammer tanks. Some Dow troops being deployed on out. We do got a bear here. No expansion here just yet, but let's see he's going for it now. He also just rolling out a multi-gun turret. Maybe he's trying to clean up that bear. Oh, here we got a dolphin engaging the ore collector. Does get a low damage state. Does get the kill there on the Terror drone. Good splash damage there. Tesla Toil will not be enough to save that ore collector. Being which, the Tesla Tesla Tower will go down. Not down. Will kill the dolphin. Ugh, I'm not thinking straight today. Javelin troops on eye for laser lock on the garrison as well. It does have defensive multi-gun turret. And the conscripts going to try to go for some hits there, and that laser lock javelin troop actually made some gun down to that Peacekeeper. One garrison destroyed, and didn't take aircraft to ram into them to destroy those twin towers. Jets are flying about. No anti-aircraft flak, multi-gun turret or flak cannon. Getting them all mixed up now. Flak tower being to dissuade these forces. We do got the MiG being deployed on out, and immediately gets shot up when trying to take off from the deck. Wait, is he force firing the ground right there? Okay. Didn't realize you can force fire the ground for bears.
It's not safe here.
When the hammer tanks does, of course, get shrugged there, there's a good number of infantry units here, but the hammer tanks could be able to get one massive crush off. Some bears being deployed out as well, which would be useful to support those hammer tanks. Guard tanks being shrunken, being focused down by the leech beams. That one's severely wounded, and looks like some level 1 satellites. Oh no, that's another Desolator airstrike. It does get one of those infantry units. I wasn't sure if it was a Peacekeeper or a Javelin troop. Squadron of MiGs. I've got quite a good number of Cryocopters here as well. Combine the ones. Nope, that's just only 4. MiGs does find the Apollos there. The good focus fire there on the Apollos takes out one of them, but one of the MiGs go down as well. Apollo almost goes down to the last bit of health. If they would have pursued it, you'd likely get the kill there. Bears are running back with the hammer tanks there. And a good number of guardian tanks on the front line as well with the supporting infantry. Red is going for a massive swell of infantry. He's going to take time to clip his garrison as well. And now we've got multiple leech beams now focused down these guardian tanks. Good focus fire there. One though go down, takes the shrink beams, and now we've got a Sequoia and a line of sight blocking reactor has been deployed on out. Trying to focus out some of these guardian tanks there. There should be a number of up guns, which should be very helpful. These structures have now been cleaned on up. Got a pair of Cryocopters here as well. Sequoia has been completed, getting some shots there on the infantry, but thanks to the laser, painting laser, and all the infantry does quickly get taken out. Very good cash bounty being selected there, getting a lot of targets. So if he's able to get a good mass chain of kills, that would be a lot of cash rebate, cash refund. We got some twin blades now being poured on out. Doesn't appear to be any strategic troops in this region, just only inside this garrison itself. So given the time, these twin blades can clean up the peacekeepers. Hammer does go and get some nice shrinks onto themselves. Now the Apollos can forward to advance well. One of the twin blades, first twin blades does get killed off, and now these other ones will be pursued as well. And the pressure crane does get cleaned up, and Magenta has backed out of the game. This is Andrew saying thank you for watching, and game number 2 has gone for you now. Game number 3. Greetings everyone, and Great here with game number 3 between Davinov, the Magenta Soviet, and Yuno as their Red Allies, assuming they haven't switched colors or teams. Yep. We got a dog being deployed on out, and the doggy will go ahead and pop in the water. Bear being pushed towards the center of the map, trying to get a nice scouting run there. The dogs, he is out in numbers, so dogs should be able to clean them up. We also got a engineer here going straight for this oil derrick. Over here we got the peacekeepers pushing out forward in front of the potential engineer. We've got Bear to support them as well. Nope, there's the engineer in front. Bear's advancing forward as well. Does get some free shotgun shots there onto the war bear. He's a bit more than a couple of double auto bug shots to kill a war bear. And this combat engineer will claim the oil derrick, and the US player does manage to get a slight lead with the oil derrick income. The Bear will go ahead and perhaps camp this refinery spot there as well. Bear here does get cleaned up by something. Not so sure by what. Maybe by this dog? Probably by the dog. The bear is being pushed out to sea, trying to get some good scouting. It looks like this, what's it called? Bridge does go down to the laser lock javelin. Some of these dogs are being cleaned up as well. They're just primarily just scouting dogs, so denying these scouts is quite useful. Down here, we've got the bear going for a full scout off, able to spot everything. Perhaps barring this airbase. And we do have this engineer right here as well. It does load the engineer into the back of a transport, so he's looking to go for some aggressive play. Maybe a good idea to perhaps go for this oil derrick. Got a lot of infantry loaded in the back of these, or inside of these riptides. Got a decent defense force here. The sickles going to be very, very useful in this situation. Does manage to gun on the bears. Of course, the bear cannot look inside of vehicles to see what's inside of them. Over here, we've got this civilian structure. Does spot these riptides that may give an indication that these are actually loaded up with infantry. Though 2 riptides would be about enough to take out Oil Derrick given enough time. The first game was, of course, 1 conscript cleaning up Oil Derrick all by himself. It looks like both those Vindicators do go down. This garrison has been de-garrisoned. 1 peacekeeper's inside, and now it's loaded up with 4 conscripts. And we'll go and claim that Oil Derrick for himself. Construction yard being deployed on the front line. We may see a multi-gun turret in the middle of the lane. Now got 5 peacekeepers here. It does quickly clean up that terror drone. Does load up a handful of those peacekeepers as well. Sickles can be very effective versus peacekeepers, but peacekeepers are quite durable. It does do a decent amount of damage even versus the light vehicles. MCV still receiving some fire right there as these sickles are advancing. Unsuccessful getting some kills. We got these Vindicators flying about, trying to eye for some bottom runs there. And now we do got a nice bottom run there onto the sickle. Conscript here behind the destroyed garrison. MCV still receiving quite a bit of fire there. Does throw out naval expansion. May want to get out next to a boot camp in order to get deploy engineer. The multi-gun turret is on low power state, which also means that his other production structures are slow. This garrison will potentially be cleaned on up. Does get a nice jump on top of them, and the 2 wounded peacekeepers on front, and they will get gunned down. Yep. And if he does go and get this guy inside the garrison, it'll be mutual trade. And he actually saved the garrison of 1 conscript. Wait a second. That is damage right there. Wait a second. What? Oh. I think it was bugged out right there. And I think the Soviet got out of the garrison and re-garrisoned it to prevent the bug. If that is the case, good sportsmanship by the Soviet player. He could have used what appeared to be a bug right there, but he did not. Let's do a mass crush there? Oh, I think just out the 2 sickles. This garrison is still, of course, garrison. Now I've got a pair of twin blades with the bullfrogs now advancing as well. Ore refinery being deployed on now, and now I've got the multi-gun turret now under siege. Prospector is now under fire, and looks like Unar has backed out of the game. Not many engagements went well, and yep, overall the Soviet player just did a good job of maintaining field control. On to the next game, which will be game number 4. And good work for the Soviet player, stopping a bug that sometimes that he could have took advantage of and didn't. Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Red Alert 3. Oh, nope. How to do my intro properly. This is game number 4 of this series. Spawn on the bottom left side as the Red Allies, we have Uno. top left or top right. As the Magenta Soviets, we got Davinov. Ore refinery going on up. Got a power plant down here and fast airfield. I usually don't see fast airfield on this map. He does have an advantage of 2 games versus 1 game, so he can go a bit more aggressive because they have other games to back him up in this series. And looks like maybe since I don't play Riddle 3 online, the chance the Soviet players are aware that this is a common map for fast airfield, and now we've got fast flak cannons being deployed on out immediately. But he is just ever so slightly lacking income for the flak cannon to be completed. No, he has a pause. He's only going to complete it if his opponent actually advances forward with their fast airfield and cancels it right there to get a refund. It was a way of spending or getting something almost complete without actually deploying it. We've got multiple Vindicators now flying about, 3 Vindicators. Eyeing for our bombing run somewhere on Magenta's area. Big shock, I know. That's a lot of bullfrogs. And finds the reactor. Oh, so annoying. And the MCV is also packed up as well. Now the Soviet player is on low power mode. Or should I say literal no power mode at the moment. So whatever he's building right now, it's going to be very, very slow. Got a single sickle. Neither player has gone for the oil refinery, have they? Yep, neither player has gotten for their oil derrick, I mean. And so now maybe as a late game battle game for the oil derricks. Of course, we've got these bullfrogs here. Vindicators does take 2 Vindicators per bullfrog. He does have 4 Vindicators there, but that should be enough here to retaliate against those Vindicators. Speaking of which, here comes the bombing run. We'll spot that not being captured at the moment. Does spot the ore refinery now, and does of course see it being cancelled. And spots the sickle there. Goes a small number of bombs there, and here comes the rest of the bombs. Does get a nice little cash bounty there, bit of a cash rebate. And now we got a conscript, a heroic conscript, throwing Molotovs into an ore refinery. And he should realize that ore is, oh, there's a terror drone there. Ore is not flammable, unlike oil derrick. There is a naval expansion here. He's taking the prospector to the naval expansion. It's getting a bit close. Was that? Yep, he's going to take time to focus it down now. Does get a burst into the terror drone and does follow it up as well. And Sickles do a nice little harassment there onto the ore refinery line. And there's a good number of Vindicator bullfrogs for anti-aircraft support. Though we do have a single Riptide here. Prospector does get where the power plant should be. Very good positioning there. Good place to store your Prospector if you're going to get harassed by Sickles. Or by Mecha Tangus and Jet Tangus. That would be another good spot there. Assuming they're coming in one at a time. Those and Sickles can wait for their cooldowns to jump onto the other side, such as that one jumping back into the mix. Does lose one of the Vindicators there. The Bullfrog's going to be trying to camp the airfield. He does lose his Riptide, and this guy will go and get back onto the harassment. Up here, this heroic conscript, or not heroic yet, conscript is still throwing Molotovs into this steel structure. Though supposedly if you do get your temperatures hot enough, steel can burn. Just not a self-sustaining burn. Does off on the wall segments there. One of the Vindicators coming for, or just drops 2 bombs there. Good bomb splits. But I'm pretty sure she's trying to bait out a jump. Does go on another wall segment there. Tried to get it walled off there. And does get a nice little snare there, preventing the Riptide from moving, continuing to remove action. Does finish throws the rest of bombs there, and now the wounded terror drone will be pursued. Needs a fall back, does hit the retreat button there, very nice. And now the wall off will be recomplete. 3 refineries versus 3 refineries. Nope, 4th refinery is now being deployed. I suppose it's still 3 refineries. Naval, actually, there is a 4th refinery here as well, so the Allied player has maintained good income, and it looks like it's going for the oil derrick now. Vindicators do not have any guns to shoot at that twin blade. They're not vertical bombers. And the Terrordrome does go and snare that Riptide there. Got a bit of a cash bounty here as well. He's sending his twin blades a bit around everywhere. Apollo in pursuit does get one of the twin blades there. This one does get killed off as well. And now we got the oil derrick plane getting immediate cash refund as well for that engineer. Good bombs onto that ore collector. Does put. Oh, that was late. Nice bombing run there as well, and we'll take the crowd shot there. Does not get the freeze there. Throws the bombs onto it anyways. Should get it just spent and sent back because the bullfrogs. Well, he expected bullfrogs to come up there, but they did not. And he's going to immediately crush that ore collector. I would say don't crush it, just... Oh, no, repairs. You don't need to crush it. You can just get repairs. And it was actually in radius of the crusher crate on the build line as well, so should have been continuously collecting there as well. So a bit of a micro mistake. Or plenty mistake, not necessarily micro mistake. Twin blades getting repaired on up. Gar's got the another boot camp there, as well as a hammer tank. This ore derrick has been claimed there. He perhaps could throw some bombs onto it if he would so choose. Twin blades, however, are going to throw their missiles into the ore derrick. Or I suppose they're rockets, not missiles. Missiles are guided, rockets are unguided. And if it gets fired and does not continue to stream, it becomes a recoilless rifle. Not like a continuous fuel firing, propelling it forward. Prospector does get pulled off the line there. Apollo in pursuit does get 1 kill there. And the Peacekeeper does get clean. Actually, no, far from it, so has half health. Very good shield, very good metal. And he carries Adams back the entire time. That thing must be weighing a ton and a half. Good bomb splits there. Modern combat load that used by US infantry nowadays weighs 80 pounds and all centered around the chest. While medieval knights full plate metal armor is 45 to 55 pounds, if I remember correctly. And it's all around the body, so it weighs even less. Feels like it weighs even less than it actually is. So that tells you how much modern infantry would carry and weight nowadays. We got a pair of Guardian tanks here, but there's more hammer tanks. But a good bombing run coming forward. Does also get the frozen bullfrog, but does pay for with a Vindicator. Hammer tanks now advancing. Not a whole lot of defense force here. There's 4 hammer tanks. There's only 2 Guardians and 2 multi-gunner IPs. But you got some cryocopters here. May want to go for some shrinks there, as well as some freezes. Maybe a quick freeze onto that Terrordrome. Because I'm pretty sure the Terrordrome's a bit more of a threat than the hammer tanks. Multi-gunner IFVs are trying to get some shots there onto these aircraft, but looks like they all go down there. And the Guardian tank is getting bleached down. Guardian tank is still alive, does get all the hammer tanks there as well, and now the bullfrogs charging forward, dancing around, does get killed off by the Guardian tanks. Red's now counter-attacking. We've got a Crusher Grenadier and a flak cannon being built for defensive AA purposes. Speaking of which, we've got Apollo now, sounds like it's fully heroic, engaging these twin blades. The Apollo will skip on out of there thanks to the heroic veterancy. Crusher Grenadier has been frozen there. Flak Tower will be deployed, and we'll get some shots there onto these aircraft. Desolator Strike does come on in, but it does rain a little bit short. Now Twin Blades pushes his way forward as well, gains some great hits there onto the multi-gunner IPs. He's focused on the Flak Tower and not the Twin Blades, so now he's able to get air superiority from those from the allies, barring the cryocopters. Those infects was a little bit dangerous there. There's still the Guardian cryocopters flying about as well, and there should be enough freeze capability to freeze that war factory before a bullfrog comes out. Let's get off the war factory now. You may want to go for a naval expansion just to get out some bullfrogs. Speaking of which, this naval expansion is going to be pursued. Does throw a cryo shot right there as well. I think this would be a lot late enough for a cryo blast, maybe even a cryogeddon, but let's take out the MCV. Soviet players now find the back foot. Got some of these air drones running up for as well. Twin Blade's going for some more harassment there. Fully heroic Twin Blade, all that remains, however. Got a single bullfrog here. There's two bullfrogs. Does get shrunken down there as well. Gains some great splash damage on these cryocopters. Does get the war factor frozen there. Does get out of range. Cryo Vindicators are being pursued. Both of the bullfrogs are trying to pursue these cryocopters. Gains some great damage there on that Vindicator or Apollo. Try to get freeze action there, but was unsuccessful. Soviet player. He's lost the MCV and the war factory. Yep, and I just thought they had no production structures left, and that is the end of the game. So it looks like UNO's take a third game versus out of the 4 games. On to game number 5. I've done one long continuous recording for all these replays, rather than me now have to edit them all together. Oops. Greetings everyone, and Grade here with the game number 5 of the best of 7, best of 4 between these two players. Small on the bottom left side as the Magenta Soviet, we of course have Davidov, and on the top right side as the Dread Allies, we have UNO. Food camp being deployed and out, barracks being deployed and out, we got walls, we got ore refinery. We got a power plant here. No refinery just yet. Good number of dogs being put out. Of course, got the combat engineer, regular engineer, combat engineers over here as well. And looks like the bear does get the good roar onto the dog, taking out the dog right there. But we do got the walls off here, preventing any sort of scouting. Does get out the refinery. No early airfield. Does bump the forward barracks there. Does get a nice drive-by swipe with the bear. The bear does take some double-off buck shots. And there should be a bark there, but mutual destruction. Conscripts are basically trying to get that garrison now. Anytime that conscripts have to fight from a garrison versus peacekeepers, it's always going to be cost-effective for the conscripts. Because even if it does go and clear it out with peacekeepers one at a time, they're paying double the cost of versus a conscript. And if he were to peacekeep get side the garrison, then he can just throw Molotovs. Ore refinery may go down there. Does go and get a cash bounty going, and this is just going to go ahead and sacrifice the oil derrick. Have an airfield being deployed on out. We do got heightened security clearance, so this may not even be a Vindicator. This could be a cryocopter. It is a cryocopter, which would be a very good item to deal with all these conscripts. 2 conscripts does can clean up there. Red's eyeing for a counterattack. Now does have a defensive bullfrogs as well as a sickle. Sickle can go ahead and get ready to jump on forward. The cryocopters are seeing a bit too much fire there. And jumps away, rather... he was trying to avoid the shrink, wasn't he? Another sickle being deployed now. Oh, that got a quick snapshot. There are now 2 cryocopters out in the field. Going for some aggression as well. Does get the kill on the wall segment. Does get the kill there onto that sickle as well, and it may be out of shrink, so this last sickle should be able to get the kills there, but does get the kill there onto the... Nope, does clean that guy up as well. Oof. These cryocopters are being oh so nasty. Jumps away, try to get towards the bullfrogs. Bullfrogs need the pass push a little bit farther forward. Another Sickle's on his way out. Is starting rebuilding his ore collector, but he is on one. He doesn't have the oil derrick there. Cancel the refinery down here. Can't afford it. His opponent has not expanded either. Going for a lot of cryocopters, and now there's enough cryocopters to engage these bullfrogs. Sickle's now advancing as well, trying to go for a potential jump there. Let's get a nice knockback there. Does manage to fall back in time, but it's also quite wounded. Bullfrogs trying to go for shots onto the cryocopter that doesn't need to freeze the fresh ore collector. Bear comes forward, does get an excellent roar there. Somehow not getting these two guys here either. It does get the kill there. And now he's a couple well-timed bears will get some great kills. And this Molotov should be able to clean up that shield. The ore collector here has been cleaned on up.
They are no friends of mine.
And the Vindicator does get a nice bombing run there as well. He could potentially try expanding out. He could try rebuilding. I'm not sure how much cash he has for remaining. Let's switch over to him. Oh, he's cutting in close. He needs to sell off some wall segments, I believe. He does, of course, have the oil derrick for income. His opponent. Oops, that's a camera. Has quite a bit of cash reserves and a lot of cryocopters. Only pair of Vindicators does spot these conscripts there, but I'm not sure if he actually realized he actually spotted them. It was just for a brief moment. Maybe he's actively ignoring as well. Garage has not been claimed.
They are not so friendly.
And he has not rebuilt a ore collector just yet. Best pause this one for the time being. Does get the kill there on that crowd. And that is actually game number 4. So this may not have been a best of 7. This may have been some sort of or best of 4. So this may be of just a whole bunch of games. I may just edit them all together. Oh, either way, let's go ahead and go on to the next game. Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Relic 3 replay. Again, this is game number 6 between the left Magenta Soviets, Davinov, and as the right Allied player, we have Yuno. You think I would have actually got my intro correct when I'm starting the next replay, and not automatically default to a brand new game between two different players. Peacekeepers, some dogs being deployed out, pretty common. We do got a combat engineer and some conscripts trying to go for some central garrisons. In this garrison here will help him gun down any dogs to try to run on by. We've got the bear and dog now ready to engage each other. Overall, seems like Davinov, the Soviet player, has been a bit more successful in the bear versus dog fights. And right now we've got the dog and the bear here. A mutual trade would actually be great for the Allied player right now because he wants to get that combat engineer or regular engineer into that oil derrick. Throw himself into the oil. He'll be lost in the process, but he'll capture the building for the Allies. Bark has missed, and the bear has not barked or roared whatsoever. Does get a roar there as well, and does get the kill, and now he can safely pursue it for mutual kills. Another bear is advancing as well, and does get mutual death right there. But the... Wait, that's... Oh, no, there's a bear down south. The engineer will actually go down. I didn't realize there's more bears coming down south, and he does actually kill the engineer, which is actually a very nice pick. Air drone moving its way towards the center. We do got some conscripts advancing towards the center as well. There's probably a good number of conscripts in the center map at the moment. And we do got now the order being cleaned up, being escorted by some riptides. Conscripts do spot the Riptides now. There may be some other stuff deployed in our garrison, those Riptides. Who knows? I know who knows. You know. Knows. There's some Peacekeepers here. There's a lot of conscripts. It does spot the Soviet MCV. It does shrink the Soviet MC there. Riptides cannot crush it. Hopefully can't. I really don't know what can't crush shrunken MCV. If Riptides can crush that, that'll be stupid. And this Riptide will, of course, go down to those sickles, being locked down by that terror drone. And now we do have a single Cryocopter in this mix. You may need to get one of these roll segments frozen to get the... Oh, that's a filled with javelin troops, so there was more stuff in there. Going straight for the War Factory. The War Factory will likely go down. War Factory goes down quite handily. And we've got these Cryocopters knocking shot up quite a bit by the flak units. And one of them does go down, the other one's severely wounded. Does go down as well. It looks like all the javelin troops have been cleaned on up, and now all these Molotovs are raining on it. And that's a quick game by the Soviet player. Very good game. Or no, was that the Soviet player? Yeah, the Soviet player won the game since that aggression was shut down quite early, I believe. By the way, on to the next game, the final game. And here is the final game. Game number 7 for the series of games of which I have no idea what was the best out of. On the right side, of course, is red UNO. On the left side, as the magenta Soviets, we have Davidov. Blah. Still cannot speak. We got some dogs we deployed on the south, or a dog. And over here we got a bear and a conscript. So both sides are eyeing for the southern oil derrick. Most people like to fight over the southern one. They don't really fight over the northern one, even though they're generally equally distanced, aren't they? Doggy does go for a quick dip, and the conscript does find some nice cable. Does get a roar off there, and the dog does take the time to clean off that bear. So very good engagement there. And you can see that he actually selected the dog right then and there, because the... Actually, no, that may have been a premature bark right there. Nope, there we go. That effect there, that's usually the sign that you're actually selecting the unit. Because they go into sort of idle animation when you don't have them selected. So that may be actually the player actually selecting them at that moment. Because I would have selected them, I can't make them do the active animation. But I'm pretty sure that's the player himself actually clicking on him and doing the active animation. Trying to go with the oil derrick now. It's not instantaneous since it's already captured. And now he will go ahead and capture up that oil derrick for himself. The allied player did get the 500 credit cash refund. So it'll be a bit of time to Soviet to get back his income. Looks like one of the dogs did go down there, and this one will get gunned down by the conscripts now. We got something inside the garrison here. It's probably like 1 or 2 peacekeepers. Got dogs swooping around, and the northern oil derrick is also lonely. Wouldn't some sort of Western power come and liberate this oil? Or some sort of Eastern power to liberate the oil? Because clearly it borders the motherland. Mass Molotovs have been lit, trying to get this garrison the garrison, and I think the one peacekeeper there will be burned alive. Okay, the dog does go ahead and spot the power plant, and does get eaten by the terror drone. MCV has been spotted right there, didn't get the crush off there. I think one of these guys may have all the javelin troops. This one may have the javelin troops inside it. It's not being crushed is very important. Vindicator is falling back. No, this one's loaded with peacekeepers. This one's loaded with javelin troops. So getting both of these on through can do some quite large damage. And now we got the terror drone trying to snare the Riptide. Now here comes the javelin troops. Laser locks firing. Sickle just trying to jump on top of the peacekeepers, so they're unsuccessful. This sickle, and the fire regular rockets, and does go ahead and clean up that war factory. Does hop inside into that Riptide there. The Peacekeeper's still alive as well. The Peacekeepers could just go around, just try to hold the line away from the Sickles. Throw some rockets into there as well. He does manage to get one of the Sickles there. The other one simply jumps away. And now Conscripts are going to try to finish off those Peacekeepers. So this one will go and start skirmishing around. Perhaps get inside the garrison, put them aggressive stance, start firing against all those walls. Vindicator's coming with some bombing rounds as well, hitting the bullfrogs apparently. And now got these rockets now hitting that reactor. It will be quickly cleaned on up. Paradrone says hello. And does stay alive right there. Conscript's trying to gauge. The Riptide itself is quite wooden, does get snared as well. Molotovs are raining on in, needs to hit those javelin troops. Hitting that oil derrick is not what he wants to have happen. Didn't take time to roll up either, so loses the oil refiner, which is a massive loss. Now here comes another bomb round there, takes out that bullfrog. Is not looking good for the Soviet player at the moment. And the Soviet player has backed up the game. And so that will end the series. Juno was up 4, and Ivanov is at 3. So I think it was the best out of 4, just that they were all labeled in the wrong order. Either way, this is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and that should conclude this series of games. Now back to your regular scheduled mass replays of everything else. Let's see now. Let's do, if I remember correctly, this is a 2v2v2. So let's go ahead and do the 2v2v2. Where are you? Sorry, I don't know why I think Scooby-Doo when I say that. Greetings everyone, Angrade here. Spawn on the south side as the Red Soviets. We have ADJ2 Act. Spawn as teammate as Cyan Soviets. We have FCU Kit. I have no idea actually how to properly pronounce everything. Wait. Okay, this is not the standard spawns. It's Cyan and Orange. Spawning as Cyan's ally. The Orange allies play. We have Rocky Hardington. Spawning as as Red's ally, the Magenta Soviets, we have A&F. As spawn on the right side as the Yellow Soviets, we have Fix, and as his teammate as the Blue allies, we have Lucky 4 Miles. Okay, this is a bit of a different setup. Usually these two are teammates and these two are teammates, but I suppose sort of the same thing, just mirrored to the southern image. We got a sentry gun here, some dojo cores being deployed on mount. Got a good number of dogs here, as well as a sentry gun here. Both sides have deployed on a friendly sentry gun. Now they need a dispenser. Looks like that conscript has lounged around so expertly, he's able to lounge around while turning the gun. And he does drink a bit there while on the job. Not a good idea to drink. Maybe he was drinking after a cold successful kill, as a celebratory kill there on the dojo core. Another sentry gun going on down. And now we've got the war bear advancing, but it will be warded away from these forces. A quick multi-gunner turret and throwing conscript or peacekeeper into it wouldn't be half bad. Red's MCV is pushing way forward as well. Hasn't even gotten this ore refinery there. And now we've got realizing Magenta's also expanded over there as well. Magenta actually has not even expanded out to these locations, so Magenta's going for a weird expansion policy as well. Great roar there. Decides to do a bonsai charge, try to get the kill there on these bears, and go for mass roar there, not realizing that you can't roar bonsai charge. But the multi-gun turret here will go and kill off these Imperial warriors. Another sentry gun going on down, and the Mecha Bay core going on up. Empire MCV is advancing. I just realized something as well. Red and Magenta are the allies, so he's trying to... They're having some sort of expansion issues where they're expanding each other's... Red and Magenta may not be also so cohesive. Yellow's being nice and defensive, getting all these garrisons... garrison. Blue's expanding out to the north, so Blue and Yellow playing a bit passively, which is good. Blue does claim the oil derrick here as well, very nice, while this one's unclaimed for now. We got some tank busters in this garrison. And we'll go ahead and load up some Peacekeepers in there as well. Better let the Peacekeepers, not Peacekeepers, Imperial Warriors get swapped out with Peacekeepers rather than your more valuable Tank Busters. Sentry Gun and Multi-Gun turret are engaging. The Sentry Gun usually loses out in these engagements. And now the MCV is advancing. We do got a Tesla Coil being pulled out by Scion. And make it himself a little infect there, though you could always pull back the Mecha Bay. Does get the infect there, just needs to go ahead and get back to the Mecha Bay, but gain body block by his own Mecha Tengu. Getting body blocked by his own Mecha Tengu as well. Does receive repairs there as well. Hopefully it's honorable discharge. He does have honorable discharge, needs to get closer for the honorable discharge. Does get some good damage there. Now the Peacekeepers are trying to get some hits there. Tesla Coil will ward away the MCV. Who's going a lot of infantry up north, trying to scout and keep the area secure. Red's pulling out some twin blades here to help protect, but his opponent has to pull out a multi-gun turret as well. Construction yard has received quite a bit of fire there. Needs to get out a dojo core and get a engineer into it. Speaking of which, we got a sentry gun being put out by Red as well, as the raid blocks will come on the Mecha Bay core, but will get interrupted in time. Dojo core being deployed out as well at instant dojo. And deploy out some wall segments there as well. The sentry gun cannot fire through the walls, though a Tesla Coil can, and so can a Guardian Core. In Prison Tower. But neither of them are allies. Their opponents have allies. And speaking of which, these twin blades do get ripped apart by the various bullfrogs and other static defenses now. Twin blades started getting some kills there. It does get forced back there. Needs to sit near that Mecha Bay core. Mecha Bay more repairs. Yell's eyeing some southern expansion as well. Does have a flak tower in the region as well. More walls being put out as the multi-gun turret line is just being established. Now we've got a armor facility here. Maybe a Theta cannon wouldn't be half bad, though he only has heightened clearance. Tesla Coil being deployed on out, and we do got a Javelin Troop getting some good damage there on the Ore Collector, so the blue's going to be hitting Scion. Scion's and Orange's attack onto Magenta will be slowed down thanks to this assault, and still no ore refineries there. If Magenta's not going to go for it, Red should go for it for himself. He's on one... Oh, he actually doesn't have a refinery there. I don't know why, I think I may have just not seen that the entire time. Figure Gun does get some good damage there onto the Guardian tank. And so does the Twin Blades. Both sides need to get out some artillery at this point in time. Though a Tesla Coil by Red with his teammates' walls wouldn't be half bad either. Looks like I got masked off being put out by Blue, but they do get gunned up and take out one of Magenta's ore refineries. Now, Magenta's is at one refinery. Orange now pushing forward with the MCV, and those multi-gun turrets can be pushed very, very far forward on the far side of the walls. That's all the Mecha Bay core there. Best abandoned region right now. Red's going out in airfield as well. Got a small swarm of jet Tengus. And there's a good group of infantry there as well. There's the Empire MCV. Twin Blades do take out those Dolphins. As right now, Orange and Scion are going to be advancing down towards the center, but Scion's northern base is secure at the moment, and it looks like he's going to pull out a sentry gun. I know a lot of sentry guns this game so far. Let's find a Tesla Coil there. Looks like Yellow has a lot of infrastructure in his teammate's base to make sure that doesn't go down, and more infrastructure up here as well. Alliance raining on in, getting some great hits there. This base is very, very congested. Magenta has still only one refinery. It does have the oil derrick here as well. So Magenta needs to start hunting out for more expansion locations. This one is open, but not very securable at the moment. If Yellow starts pushing its way up north, that would be good for Magenta to get more of a foothold in this game. Let's clean that up, and there's also some wall segments here to block that refinery there, so that's going to take a bit of time to clean that up as well. Science pulling out of the airfield in the middle of the map. Cryo shot does come forward as well. Looks like a handful of conscripts does get cleaned up by the Peacekeeper? Yep. Oh, battle bunker. As much as I do love seeing battle bunkers, hopefully a whole bunch of flak troops get inside there. 5 flak troops in a battle bunker does do quite a bit of damage. It's expensive, but effective. Orange has quite a bit of infrastructure here, and now making its way over the expansions which have not been mined are in this right here. This one has not even been touched yet, so that's a lot of good income there. Cyan's Sputnik has been spotted, and there goes a Sputnik. Ore refinery still on up. Up north now we've got Athena cannons supported by a pair of Guardian tanks. Bears are making their way forward. There's some stuff in the battle bunker. It does get cleaned up there. It was fully loaded up with flak troops there. Going for some mag mines there, getting some good damage in. And the Bears now trying to get the kill there on those Peacekeepers. They're unsuccessful. Cyan may need to go get a bit more defenses at the moment. He has claimed this oil derrick here. He may deploy out a battle bunker here and then through the engineer over there. But now these flak troops are advancing, but won't accomplish all too much. Soaking up those wall segments. Red is now applying some pressure on the yellow. Since now blue and yellow are advancing very far forward, now they're going to get double teamed quite a bit. Orange will take time to solidify the central island. Blue and Cyan, of course, engaging out with each other on the northern flank, but it looks like Blue needs some more anti-aircraft. Fire shot does come forward as well, maybe not really needed. So you really just get it quickly killed off. Does get quickly killed off. Air power plants down there. Now Magenta and Yellow now getting out a lot of mag mines here, and we got a captured Instant Dojo here, but instantly gets destroyed. And there's also some good defense there. It does take up the the Tesla coil there, but not the flak cannon. Pretty much more flak troopers being deployed on out, and it will get ripped apart. Magenta has built out another refinery here, so Magenta's on 2 refinery income. This oil derrick has been cleaned by Orange as well. Cyan has at least 3 refineries. Orange appears to have 3 at the moment as well. This one has not been claimed at the moment. Now I've got Emperor's Rage right here as well. And Magenta has loaded up the sudden transport for the engineer. That was not an engineer for the oil derrick. He's trying to get himself a free war factory. This will potentially force sell off. It does claim that refinery now as well. The engineer actually did manage to stay alive longer than expected, but does get killed off again. And this base locations, this refinery location should be cleaned up relatively soon. Hopefully has a refinery being queued on up. Battle lab being put out by Cyan, the central island. Right now, maybe a good idea for Cyan to pull out some infantry forces in these garrisons, as this area is currently lost. And we got a nanotech mainframe deployed on out. Will this be used for a Psionic Decimator or for Wave Force Artillery? King Oni at this point in time does not seem a good idea for me. It could also be used for King Oni. Deploying out a Psionic Decimator would be quite tempting, but it will draw the ire by both enemy teams, which means they will be swarming down south, and Red and Magenta do not have the forces to really deal with a big swarm down south. So hopefully it's not meant for a Psionic Decimator. And if there's a Nano Swarm Core deployed on out, I have no idea what to make of that. A lot of Twin Blades here. Yellow's Tesla Troopers do get cleaned up, so does the Flak Troopers, but Blue still has a very, very large force here. He's going to need some more Mecha Tengus. Now he does throw the Cryo Blast there, does spot, of course, the Nanotech mainframe. It does get frozen short there. Those walls came in a little bit too late. Something was being deployed up there. There was more walls, so it looks like he didn't utilize that Nanotech mainframe whatsoever. I don't think he even has a war factory or even barracks out in the moment. Actually does have a Mecha Bay Core here. I can't tell what technology level it is. Likely level 2, probably not level 3. As the core does get clean on up, the extra layer of walls will be able to stop out the Tsunami tanks, which also is in case he does have, it is level 2 for the mainframe core. Barracks and or Refinery is not going to do anything. Does file Prospector Command Hub there. And looks like Orange going to clean up some of this infrastructure here with his Tesla, not Tesla, Laser Lock Javelin. We got Doc Score being pointed out. He may be eyeing. I doubt it's probably going to be for Yari mini subs. I doubt it's going to be for Shogun battleships, though it could be for Shogun battleships. Got a Ninja? Okay, we've got an incredibly rare unit, the Ninja, which should be pretty effective versus Shinobi. It should be a one-shot him, yes. The Shinobi may be the perfect item to counter those Tesla Troopers. One of the MiGs do go down there. It looks like Magenta's oil barrack will be cleaned up by this Flak Trooper with near zero health. Proton Collider deployed out by Orange. Now this will make Bone Power. This will make Orange's Scion the eye of being targeted by Blue and Yellow, and they're the powerhouse at the moment. This also gave breathing room for Magenta and Red, and gave a reason to assault sounds in the middle as well. But Blue and Yellow will need to start pursuing this central location there. They know the Proton Collider is near dead center of the island. This X marks the center of the island, just a little bit off-centered. And we do have a pocket tanks for defense. Magenta Red is going to be clawing in them ways a little region down here. Cyan Red could be pursued over here by Magenta Red, and that'd be some extra refining locations for them, so they're nearly depleted. See a pair of airfields as well. I want to see some sentry bombers. That is a lot of heavy armor there. They may be on to try to secure this bridge. Cryoblast does come forward, sells off both those structures, and now these motor gun turrets will be cleaned on up. Another ore refiner here. This one may have been sold off by it was the Empire, so it may have been sold off, may have been shorted because there's also a lot of other infrastructure missing at the moment. Jet tankers do come forward as well, knows all the anti-aircraft forces, knows that the sudden transport gets grabbed by the Apocalypse tank, does use the kind of smoke bomb ability on the Shinobi. Let's take an eye at what the Shinobi's doing. It's an incredibly rare unit. And does go ahead. Oh, that's his teammate's MCV. Shinobi's almost dead. I am curious what he's planning to try and do with it. If you were to sneak it into the Proton Collider itself, doesn't it like resets the timer? I know if you get into a Battle Lab or Defense Bureau, it destroys all aircraft units, like Kirov's. You hardly even see spies meant for the old spy stuff, let alone. So I'm not so sure what they actually really do on against like barracks, against war factors. I think that just disables them for a time being. Science base does get cleaned up there. Red space could be next, but they may want to eye gain that bridge. But it's ground force as well. They need a naval force or air force to take on this area at the moment. Cyan has a good amount of twin blades at the moment as well. Looks like blue is on just to hit the land forces for the time being, which may knock out these forces for the time being, but it leaves them very vulnerable to a proton collider. You also know there's a large force here thanks to these wall segments. And that's a line of forces. Apollos do mostly go down right there. I can see a single V4 launcher getting direct hit there on, I think, an ore collector. Proton Collider still counting down. Still got the Shinobi here. Severely wounded. Even throwing into a refinery steals, what, 2,000 credits? Wouldn't be half bad. Oh, so of course, it assumes the opponent has 2,000 credits. Beacon's placed by somebody. He does spot the Sentry Bomber to come out as well, so blue, cyan, and orange all can make an aggression towards the red and magenta. Let's take out both of those Sentry Bombers there. Very nice. The Oracle Refinery does go down there. Twin Blades now coming up for as well, and there's no anti-aircraft in this region. Apollos looks like they're in response, but he's going to lose the majority of these forces. There's a handful of Mirage tanks here as well. Try to camouflage these forces, but it's unsuccessful. And he does not... He's forced on the ground as well. Does get some hits there, but it's going to avoid those Apollos now. We say Jet Tango's do come up for as well. Gets killed all of those Apollos. Orange coming with some Sentry Bombers now. Does find the flak cannon. Does spot the Mega Bay core. And does he not have the bomb upgrade for Orange? He may not even have the extra bomb upgrade. That looks like the regular bombers, like unupgraded bombers. Sells off that refinery there. Beacon was placed by one of the players. We do got a Shogun battleship out at sea. Does one of these ore refineries does go down. And now we do got the Shogun battleship firing in every direction. Sentry Bomb is coming for another bomb run onto the Mecha Bay. And now we do got the Jet Tango's going to quickly pick them off. These are expensive losses. Sentry Bombers are not cheap. Going for another ore refinery over here. Very nice. It does have a handful of credits, so it will get himself a refund, but nothing more than that. It would be a very, very small amount of income. Looks like the Shogun battleship was frozen there, I think by a cryo shot or cryo blast. Could have been a cryo get, but I doubt that. Prospector was spotted there and was destroyed. And it looks like we've got a satellites now raining on in as well from yellow. Or just Desolator airstrike, I should say. Gets backed out of there as well. That's a little bit premature to get the cash bounty off there. And Sentry Bombers was spotted. 2 were killed off. 3rd one will go down. That is some big losses right there. Red Emission has been the ire of Orange for quite some time. Blue and Cyan is mostly doing nothing. What has Yellow even done recently? Let's switch over. Let's quick, okay, looks like this is the Soviet Cyan player. Has a good amount of credits stored up. Main defensive since they have the Proton Collider there. Maybe go for the back imploder. The blue allied player is, of course, spending his income. The red Soviet doesn't have a whole lot. The Empire player does have a small amount of income, or a small amount of resources stored up. Looks like the allied player has quite a bit of income stored up, even though lost a significant amount of Sentry Bombers. And for the Soviet player who's basically done nothing, has spent quite a bit of resources. I think it's on too much static defense. There is static defense everywhere. This refiner does get cleaned on up by the Proxy Sputnik. These Mirage tanks have finally then moved forward. I was wondering if they're still there. Push sells that off, and now the Twin Blades needs to come over and respond. But so there's Twin Blades. Yeah, they're responding now. There's also the Apollo in the region. And this is... Oh, there's a lot of veterancy on those Jet Tengu, so maybe enough. Twin Blades have to get engaged as well. Bullfrogs in the mix of as well. The Apollo's getting ripped apart. And all of a sudden the music was loud for a brief moment. And starting to force fire the ground now. Up north, the dude got a bunch of Scion forces. He must have deployed out something to get up there. I have no idea how they got there. Did a sentry bomber come in with a paradrop with engineers? How did that get there? So Orange and Scion making their advance there. Blue has deployed out his own Proton Collider now. And it looks like that the Orange Proton Collider had been fired recently. I'm not so sure where. There's definitely had a lower cooldown at this moment. Unless the Shinobi managed to get a reset onto it. Satellites are raining on in. Good damage there. Takes out all that infrastructure barring this super reactor. Another cryo shot there as well. Looks like Blue's low in power. The super reactor does go down there. Looks like all the blue and orange areas does get cleaned up, excluding this single Tesla tower, and does get cleaned up now as well. And looks like the Desolator aircraft did go down there. Empress Rage coming on forward as well. At this point in time, Magenta and Red may need to go out for their own super weapons. A Nano Swarm wouldn't be half bad just to deny the Proton Colliders. A purely defensive support super weapon. It's one of the few times I'll say build Nanoswarm Core, but I think the Nanoswarm Core wouldn't be half bad. Shogun battleships getting some good barrages onto these naval forces. Does receive some hits from the Mirage tank. That's a lot of Mirage tanks, jeez. And Syac and its Decimator has built up a Magenta, but he is low in power, so we need to get some more instant generators. Some instant power. Red has a good mix of Twin Blades and Bullfrogs. There's a pair of flak cannons here. And something being blown up there. And looks like the MCV needs to remain deployed in order to get the power going for the Psionic Decimator. Maybe a good idea to go for some instant generators to go along with it. Red may not have a battle lab. Wait. Okay, Red does have a war factory. I actually don't see the MCV for Red. Red may have lost his MCV. Nope, there it is. Ultra torpedoes do miss. It is Yellow's Okula sub advancing. There's, I don't see any Tesla coils here. That's an absurd amount of flak towers. And the Ore Crusher does stay alive there. He may go for Crusher Crane in this region. Ooh, and Magenta's MCV goes down quite quickly. There is a Yuriko in this region. Yuriko may have been in trouble, but here comes the Twin Blades. You just have to let his teammates Twin Blades do as much damage as possible. They need to be in an attack. We'll get the rockets firing in, but the Psionic Decimator will go down. Overall, Blue, however, will lose a significant amount of force. But he will do quite a bit of damage. But overall, it's hard to say whether or not that's cost effective. It was probably cost equal. Mainframe core does get sold off there. The thing is, he didn't need to sell that off. Prism cannons from the Mirage tanks cannot shatter frozen targets. So that cryo shot there was absolutely completely worthless in the case between the for the Mirage tanks. Shogun battleship firing against this Motor Gunner IV. Magenta still has these Shogun battleships as well. Oh, time bomb there. That must have been Blue's time bomb to hit these Mecha Tengus. That was cleaned on up. A number of these Mecha Tengus are heroic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's got a Desolator strike onto the Shogun battleships. We still have a naval docks here. Maybe a good idea to go for the MCV. Oh, speaking of which, there's the MCV from the Mecha Bay. Oh, there is the Proton Collider shot. Sorry, I missed that. Sword Strike was not enough. Didn't get a freeze off onto that War Factory. Blues may eye another counter barrage onto Orange's infrastructure. Cyan what does Cyan have for economy? As an ore refinery over here, and that still has some income. This one has been cleaned up. This one is being camped by the Terror drones, and now Magenta's pushing forward with his Shogun battleships. Magenta has a Wave Force artillery right here. Up north, we got again. How did these forces get up here? Was this Yellow's MCV? Wait, did Natasha snipe it? I honestly don't know how on earth the Cyan and Orange are getting back these lines. I don't see a, what's it called? A chronosphere. Natasha's now ripping apart these forces. Gets inside the garrison as well. Doesn't want to get picked off there. And goes go for a Proton Collider, and Natasha making the Proton Collider. Time bomb being selected. It's sold off. There goes the Proton Collider to Natasha. Natasha starts staying in the garrison. That would have saved her. And that wasn't a deluxe time bomb either. I just remember deluxe time bombs have massive explosion radius. Now Natasha's fully heroic, and here comes another run onto the unbuilt Tesla coil. Now she's going to start doing her work as Commando. Got Cryo again being cast on top of her. She will get slightly shielded there. She did, of course, pilot snipe that Apocalypse tank. Does avoid the V4 rocket. It was a precision warhead, not a cluster. And Wave Force artillery is picking off these bases as well. Blue is losing a lot of infrastructure here. Orange still has his Proton Collider alive. Magenta and Red needs to hit that Proton Collider. They know that the blue Proton Collider is destroyed, or they should be aware of it at least. They may have live vision of being unaware. Let's destroy that garrison. What protocols does the Southern Empire play even has? I haven't seen Final Squadron, I haven't seen balloon bombs. We have seen Emperor's Rage, that's what line he first went down. And looks like Blue has reclaimed the pilot sniped what's it called? Apocalypse tank. And it looks like Natasha has gone down, perhaps with Desolator airstrike right here. And now Cyan's NCV will go down. We do got some mag mines here. Did the allied player over here, does get the kills there as well, managed to save the Apocalypse tank. Did the allied player here go for the Chrono Swap ability to swap individual units? That must be what has happened. This base location has been cleaned on up. Blue does have MCV, does have one refinery here, and one refinery here. That's all depleted. I think the map may be almost entirely depleted. We got a heroic and elite Shogun battleship for Magenta. Claiming the sea. There's a lot of Cyan MiGs here. A lot of Twin Blades here. Well, not Twin Blades, Jet Tengus, but they do transfer to Mecha Tengus to avoid the MiGs. Red still has a number of flak towers here, and as well as some extra ore refineries. One of them, ore collectors. One of them could go ahead and get crushed. Yellow does have a V4 there. It does get picked up by Orange's V4. And it looks like this Shogun battleship does get infected. It's pretty far away from this mecha bay. If it was heroic, it perhaps couldn't make it. Does use the battery ram ability now. I don't think the heroic or the elite one will escape on out. Point defense drones may stall out a little bit, but once it gets a low damage state, it's going to be moving even slower though. He looks to use the battery ramp ability there. And it's going to be dead right there. I think it's going to, nope, not focusing down. He could have potentially made it and stopped there. I'm not sure though. Another Terra drone there. The heroic one, of course, will need to fall back and get near the war factor, so it does get repaired up as well. Garrison receiving quite a bit of fire there. Wait, is that Natasha? That actually, no, that's Orange. You got a Tanya here. And looks, oh wait. I thought I saw on curtain effect there. I also see a staining peacekeeper there, so I have no idea what that was about. That may have been the... No, that was clearly a red effect, like it was a Iron Curtain. And here comes a Proton Collider there. Takes up the dock, both the dockyards, but does leave the super reactor alive. Low power state as well. Somehow this wounded port collector did not go down either. Yellow is pushing forward with this MCV. Number of those twin MiGs will go down. Red's what's called twin blades all go down as well, so he's losing a lot of force there. Yellow will be backing on off. And the satellites does connect with that infrastructure there. Imperial warriors are being deployed on out, and I just realized something. That was Soviet. Oops, let's see a massive lag spike there. That was a Soviet Empire MCV. I must not have been paying attention because, or that player must not have been paying attention as well because must have got engineer drop there onto Magenta's MCV. And Magenta is lacking his naval dockyard as well, so he only has micro available, no production structures remaining. And now here comes a deluxe time bomb there, taking out a lot of this infrastructure. So everybody's just now relying on protocols, but since Magenta's lost the MCV, he got back out, giving all the income to his teammate. No, he has a Mecha Bay core. Never mind, he can build another MCV. He needs to get that MCV up and going to get out another, get his protocols going. We have a Yuriko here, as well as all his forces. Red doesn't have a whole lot of force. And now we got, looks like, I think, Magnetic Singularity being cast. Of course, de-powering everything because that supplies the EMP effect, as well as putting the low power because of the EMP effect onto the generators. We got a heroic Wave Force Artillery there, so that Mecha Bay core is at tier 3. And looks like got killed off. I'm not sure by Yuriko or by the Twin Blades, but it looked like by the Twin Blades. There's a Terra drone next to a Terra drone. One's yellow, one is cyan, or... Yep, there's just 2 Terra drones there. Another time bomb. Right there. Deluxe time bombs are deadly against infrastructure. Takes out how many power plants there? Both orange and blue are low power. Oranges get back in high power, or regular power. And Tanya does get dropped there, but she gets gunned down by the MiGs. Cryo again not coming for as well. Don't think there's anything in the region to finish them off. Yuriko's advanced as well, trying to connect these flat cannons, which will give her some veterancy. Tilts off them, which would be a good idea. Sells off that one as well. Very nice. It looks like the defense barrier does go down. So does the battle lab. Not sure by what though. Twin blades are being picked off one at a time now. North a whole lot of nothing. Oh, there's something there. Another Tanya deployed out by a twin blade. Blue and orange are playing this all too well. That may have also been another thing that's been happening as well. Maybe it wasn't Chrono Swap, but maybe by a engineer and twin blade. And now Tanya's going to go to town. Doesn't got another bear there. Another bears, more bears going down. Goes for Aurora poorly though. And Tanya does actually survive a bear slash there. And does use a Chrono Belt there to get her top off for health. Very, very nice. It's been a while since I've seen a Tanya actually being used successfully. Takes out some of these bullfrogs. Very nice. Up north, we've got Magenta, Red advancing together. Very nice. Orange's Proton Collider is almost ready. Surgical Strike takes out the infrastructure there. And Sentry Gun does get picked off there. And does actually throw some rockets onto Tanya there. And she didn't use her Chrono Belt to get topped off health. Now she's fully heroic there, allowing her to get some health regen. And Tanya will clean up the infrastructure for support of those twin blades. Blue and yellow, they're being beaten back by red, magenta, cyan, and orange. There's still a lot of infrastructure here, a lot of bullfrogs. Proton Collider is still alive. I'm surprised the Soviet player has not deployed out his vacuum plow to go along with it. Now got the level 3 satellites being called on in, I think by red. Yep, that's red satellite. Blue's defense barrier goes down. We've got one refinery for both yellow and blue, and that is it. Although I suppose yellow does have an oil derrick, which actually provides probably more income at this point in time. But right now, if they keep their MCVs alive, they can bring in their protocols. Tanya quickly cleans up that region. Still got a single Shogun battleship here as well. I thought I heard something as well. Cryogeddon and Desolator Strike being cast in together. That doesn't work like that. Though apparently it doesn't get melted, it gets shattered. Get a shattered effect there. But probably just died by low health, not by damage, not by shattering. Yeah, you can see also this Prospector slowly being whittled away as well. Wait. What the hell is this Prospector placement? Surgical Strike on top of Natasha. She does dodge it. And her strike was called off thanks to the Athena cannon. What is Orange doing? Is he literally plowing out mass Prospector in order to sell them off for Peacekeepers? Because Orange does not appear to have... No, he has an MCV. I have no idea what Orange is doing. Is he really trying to long-distance mine everything? Proton Collider firing somewhere. Right there. Deluxe Time Bomb mix as well. Need to sell off this power plant as well. This power plant's going to go down. Looks like these jet tankers may be picked off, but we got, of course, the heroic Shogun battleship still alive. Oh, apparently that was not in range. Conscript, however, was burned alive by it. Red's going out for another expansion. Might as well get your economy. It's just sort of hard to tell what you should actually go for in such a low eco game. A lot of these bullfrogs does get frozen there. And now we finally see a Final Squadron Omega being deployed on out. Hitting the MCV, getting some good damage there, but it probably would have better go for those power plants. MCV does get packed on up, needs to go to another time bomb there. They're getting hit by all the protocols from both players at this point in time. Red's bullfrog sing high towards Cyan's. The Shogun battleship still firing as long as those bullfrogs in the region. That Shogun battleship stay alive. Orange is low on power there. Did the MCV just goes down? Yes, no, those hammer tanks. Looks like Cyan has backed out of the game, just leaving Orange in the center map. He's long distance mining as well. And with that low power, he's able to hit this prism tower. The prism tower does fire a shot there. Relatively rare sight to see. Yellow's expanding out as well. Cyan, I'm not sure what Cyan's doing. And we also got some Sputniks here. Shogun battleship bugging out. Red's MCV is getting repaired up by his teammates in Mecha Bay, which is actually quite nice. And it looks like the MCVs are migrating up north for Cyan or Magenta and Red. Laser Locks actually managed to connect with some of those Jet Tengus. Yellow's conscript does spot the Magenta MCV at least. Pushing for the Magenta MCV is a bit of a weird thing because you deploy out cores. More satellites. Should be hitting the power reactors, honestly. Going towards the power plants there will not only stall the timer out, but at this low econ game, replacing generators is something you really don't want to do. One ore refinery has been built, so he had enough income to deploy out Emilia ore refinery. Now got Eureka being deployed on out. Cryogeddon being cast on in, which will freeze down this power plant here, which may put in a low power state. No, it does not. Yellow's deploying out some flak troopers here as well. And Magenta's going behind to push Yellow. There is a battle lab here and some flak units, nothing to engage against those Jet Tengus or Mega Tengus barring this conscript. Over here, we got the Twin Blades engaged in some more roll segments. Looks like the battle lab was sold off, very nice. There's a sudden transport here as well. I have no idea what's in it. There's also a sentry gun and combat engineer here. Inside the sudden transport was actually Eureka, and she does get inside the garrison as well. What does it look like if Commando gets cleared out by a Molotov, or by a Peacekeeper shield, or by a Bonsai charge? Honestly, I don't know what that even looks like. It doesn't have special animation. And the Shogun battleship is actually still alive, and Magenta, oh, that is valuable. That is a plenty of ore in some of these sea expansions. There's a small amount in this one, and this one as well, so the sea expansion still has quite a bit of ore in them, so getting them would actually pump out some of his economy by a significant amount. What is up with this long distance mining? Your economy's already poor enough. That's even worse. Mig does go down there. Looks like Yellow's in low power state. Why he thinks of the Shogun battleship. And down south he does have expansion, but of course it is depleted. The naval expansion is getting hit, and now the Shogun battleship does has it's infected as well. It does finish the Paradrone there, which could have snared it. No crusher crane. No repairs out at sea. Oh wait, what just happened? Did he use the Wave Force artillery? Can he use Wave Force artillery to kill off terror drones? It took a lot of damage. He had to use I think he used a Wave Force artillery to kill off the terror drone. Is that even possible? Maybe it was Yuriko? I don't know if the Yuriko's still alive. That's sudden transport. There's Yuriko. And finds the MCV, cleans up the MCV, and now there's a fully heroic Yuriko. Twin blades are pushing way forward. Seeing quite a bit of fire from these bullfrogs. A lot of them are severely wounded, but they're still alive. And now got Yuriko, grabs herself a ore collector. It does take out the ore refinery as well. And looks like the bullfrogs does finish with the ore collector in the air. No expecting the combination of having Yuriko throw stuff in the air for the bullfrogs. And we do have a combat engineer down here with some bears. And we'll get cleaned on up. Blue does have an MCV here. I think Yellow backed out of the game. That was not a capture. So it looks like Blue... Yellow has backed out of the game. Sells us the MCV for some money. I'm not sure for what, though. It'd probably been a good idea to keep the MCV alive for the protocols. Oh, and Protocol Collider right there takes out whatever is right there. I think it was just bullfrogs. And now we got satellites right here. If they hit they need to hit these reactors. One of them does go down. Does not put in the low power state, but the other stuff can easily quite go down. I think Magenta and Red will actually pull out, win the game. They were on the back foot to begin the game. And they will manage to pull out ahead. Orange has really nothing left, and there's a mass sell-off, just leaving Blue remain in the game. Which goes from an ore collector? I don't even know what Orange but Blue just did. He built an ore collector. There's a lot of like interesting plays, unique units, and a lot of befuddling things happen in this game. And this game's pretty much over once they clean up that area. And yep, that's the end of the replay. I had to fast forward this a little bit. It's like, that's just going on for a little bit too long. Either way, this is Andrew saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. And I do need to use the restroom. I'll be back in a brief moment. One moment. Yeah, very long, very equal, very long game. That's putting us correctly. Let's see now. Let's just start from the top. Greetings everyone, and Grade here for another Relic 3 replay. Spawn on the south side or north side as the Red Soviets, we have BM Killer 10-2. Spawn on the south side as the Blue Empire, we have Python 3. Instant generator into some dojo towards the oil derrick. Not big surprise. We got some bears pushing way down the center. Lots of bears. Going down, pass across every single bridge. There's also, of course, a oil derrick over here from the secure as well, which we do see the engineer now. And dojo has been deployed right there, which there's no oil derrick up here, but likely just trying to crush anything that crows across the bridge. And the bears do find a nice little block there, but refiner cores can crush bears. And now that bear gets crushed as well. Bit of a poor micro there of those bears, but they do get some good scouting off. This bear is going to be sitting on the bridge. And now the combat engineer is trying to capture up this oil derrick. Combat engineer making their way towards this oil derrick. This is an aggressive oil derrick. Seeing the fact there's a war bear here, so he can sell off the dojo core for a Imperial warrior. And if he goes for a roar, but not go quick enough before the bonsai charge, it can kill off the engineer. He needs to get another bear on the other side of this dojo core to hunt down that potential. Oh, gets a kill there on the Imperial warrior and on the what's called engineer, which for engineer there for the observation post. Mag mines being thrown out by the flak troopers now. He's good hits there. Bonsai charge does get one of those flak troopers now, and we've got more mag mines being thrown on the MCV. He does have the cash bounty on his own forces there, giving a bit of a cash rebate. And it looks like he's throwing a lot of rounds in the wall segments. You got the ore collector and the Mecha Tengu engaging the sickle there. It does go and jump out of there, and it does go and go back in and receive quite a bit of fire. And you got the combat engineer right there, which will claim the oil derrick that has not been captured. So overall, the Soviet player is apparently taking a pretty commanding, aggressive lead so far. Of course, to have a Mecha Tengu here, the sickle, yeah, cancel the walls, so you don't need to wall off the Mecha Tengu when it's attacking you. And the honorable discharge does take up the flak trooper there now. This ore collector needs to get back on the line. And now those conscripts throwing some Molotovs into that MCV, which has a pretty sizable hole right there thanks to those flak troopers. But still plenty of help. The bear is now being chased down, does get cleaned on up. And Sickle just walks into the refining line, but the Mecha Tengus can just fire into the refinery line. Sickle does jump to the high ground, very nice. And more flak troopers are now streaming on in with mag mines in the MCV. That's something I don't really see all too often. Soviet player has expanded out towards this refinery point as well. Got a single flak trooper inside this garrison. Maybe throwing some more flak troopers across these garrisons wouldn't be half bad, like this one here. And he's actually hitting the refinery, not the ore collector. That may be a micro mistake there. Sickle charging his way forward, trying to get some good damage in. can't just walk through that opening again, and does go and jump inside the into the refinery line. And should be able to kill there onto that ore collector, and onto this charge does take out the sickle as well. The ore collector does bring these jet tangus or mecha tangus back into the angle of that flak troop inside the garrison, and got another combat engineer advancing. I have no idea what that's for. And those random crates. Ugh, random crates. What was that? 1,000 credits right there. Conscripts looks like I'm going to be grabbing it, and there's now a pair of bears capturing that instant dojo. Those bears do get cleaned on up. And these jet tinkers are quite wounded. Where did that engineer go? There's the engineer. And yep. Definitely lower ranking game, especially if it's also custom crates as well. Now we've got Dojo Core here as well. Now he's going to go ahead and take time to get out some free probably tank busters. Not free tank busters, but tank busters, and the Empire Warrior Empire player has back out of the game. This is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. That was an unusual replay. And here we are. Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Relic 3 replay. Spawn on the north side as the Orange Allies, we have King Kong. Spawn on the south side as the Magenta Soviets, we have Fordell. Double barracks opener, we do have a boot camp here, a dog being deployed out. This is going to go for the engineer next, so only a single dog. No extra buddies. Dogs running on forward. We'll avoid these conscripts now. Got a lot of conscripts going to the central garrisons. And this does get the bad bark off there, and now he will be able to force back these dogs no problem with that single conscript. Lots of conscripts deployed on out. Not a whole lot of peacekeepers at the moment. Does use a shield there as well. Does get a roar on top of those forces. And the conscripts could go ahead and pull out a Molotov to get an instant kill on those peacekeepers. Or peacekeeper. Which he does not take time to micro that. We do got two refineries here, two refineries here. More walls going up. I don't see. Probably next up is perhaps a armor facility. Could be for an airfield. He could go ahead and get out his Molotovs to throw inside the civilian structure, but he does not at the moment. Just going to kill off one of those bears. That bear does get cleaned up as well. And also going to go ahead and get inside that garrison, which is not going to be cost-effective trade for him. There's at least 3 conscripts inside that garrison. Yep, just 3. A lot of conscripts here. Could go ahead and get inside those garrisons. It's always a good trade for him to get inside the garrisons. Vindicator coming for as well, getting 3 bombs there. Get a small cash bounty, cash refund. Another Vindicator coming in for a bomb run, gets another 2 kills there, throws 1 bomb into the garrison. This one may be full, but it looks like it maybe doesn't actually look full to me. Let's get some good damage there. This Peacekeeper, however, does stay alive. these conscripts are eyeing this garrison. The Soviet player has gone for a naval expansion, so has the Allied player. Those appears to be just 2, maybe 3 conscripts inside. Yep, just the 2. He does get out that, clear out that garrison. Now this oil derrick could be focused down. Good bombing runs there. May just want to fall back, keep that bomb loaded up, or find one of these guys. Does get another bomb there. Does get inside that garrison as well. Lots of conscripts just pushing the way forward. Speaking of which, we got a conscript here throwing some Molotovs. We got a seaport now putting out. We got the MCB now heading towards this expansion over here. Still a lot of conscripts inside of that garrison. We'll potentially get the kill onto that Oil Derrick. Still just more conscripts in this garrison as well. The Oil Derrick does go down. And still more and more conscripts are just streaming on forward. Conscripts are pretty cheap. And it looks like the Riptide's going to be engaging from the radius of the airport, giving them infinite health, basically. Another Peacekeeper's advancing, trying to get out, clear out the garrison once again. Good damage there. And the Peacekeeper does go down. Riptide is now receiving a bit of fire. And the ore collectors now receiving quite a bit of fire along with the ore refinery. Try to go for a Tesla coil here, but looks like the ore refinery is getting a little bit close. This coil does have a bit of charge up time as well. It's starting to repair up the refinery now. And he does not get the kill, just a fraction of a second too late. If he has a crusher crane, he should crush that ore collector. And now got crowd shot coming forward as well. The hammer tanks are a bit wounded. The garrison's still firing away. Maybe we should make sure those are fully maxed out and hit and prioritize those javelin troops. Right now, the garrison's spreading its fire. It needs to retarget a little bit better there. One of these hammer tanks, the wounded one, does get its anti-infantry weapon. And the garrison has now been cleaned on up. Does get the roar onto the tack dog and does get it killed off. Does get a laser lock javelin as well. Its garrison as well is still quite full. I'm not sure how many are on this one. I think there's 2. There could be a third one in there. It's hard for me to tell. It looks like just 2, maybe 3. Yep, it's just 1 left now. As an airstrike comes on forward, which will deny the reinforcements. Got another cash mount here. Does get the kill there on the bears, or the rebate on the bears. Dog will go and claim himself a conscript as well as these forces start making their way forward. They still have quite a bit of garrisons here. Still got these expansions here. The Soviet player has also expanded down south as well. Neither player going for the high ground expansion, which is usually like the first one people go to. It's our hit or miss whether to go for that or the naval expansion. This naval expansion now being rebuilt. These forces will escape the laser lock. Over here, we got the cryo shot onto the ore collector. And I'm not sure what actually went down there. It looks like a bullfrog.
I've had enough.
This guy's advancing forward as well. Roar didn't do anything. other types being focused on down. Got a handful of Guardian tanks there. A lot of hammer tanks. Does crush some of the infantry. Prospector makes his way forward, but these Guardian tanks are getting hit significantly. Guardian tanks are being cleaned up one at a time. Hammer tanks are quite wounded. Of course, not really a way to repair them. Other than through Leech Beam, of course. Instead of deciding to fall back now, trying to get some Leech Beams in. If they were to fall back and leech down that structure, it would be really good. They're lacking any sort of anti-aircraft. There's a single flak trooper here that does get ran over. These bullfrogs are quite wounded as well. They need to perhaps go back and hit that cryocopter there. And this Guardian tank is going, with the help of the cryocopter, is able to get some great kills there. Cryocopter actually does go down there. One of the bullfrogs is now elite. It gets fully heroic. It's able to get some self-repairs.
Who's looking for a good pounding?
Got a Terror drone here. Didn't get the jump on top of the Javelin Troop. Now Javelin Troop may get inside the garrison. No, it does not. Now it does. Down south, we do got the Cryocopter trying to find some harassment. May shrink his opponent's MCV. Won't be all that useful to shrink it down. Single flak troop inside this garrison. Does get the freeze off there, but won't be anything in reach to finish it off. It does decide to fall back because there's also a flak cannon deployed. Oscar does find some Molotovs in the low ground. That's Javelin Troop in there. It does get killed off. Up north, we got a Cryogeddon. He's trying to save this base. So got a good number. Oh, he does walk in a little bit there, freezing the Terror drone. Because the MCV may go down, he does have the snare ability ready for the MCV. It may pack up and immediately get snared. But no, that multi-gun turret does take time to finish off that Terror drone before getting low powered. Lack of the power from the MCV. And it looks like the MCV will escape out to sea. Cryocopter does get cleaned up there. We got the Guardian tanks advancing, but will get overwhelmed by the hammer tanks. There's a lot of hammer tanks here. Guardian tanks do get cleaned up. Now time for the multi-gun turret, and it will get cleaned up no problem as well. The expansion will be likely next. He's gone, redeployed his construction yard. He could have kept it near the seaport to get some repairs. It's the Wild Command Hub here. Probably just trying to sell it off. Conscript throwing some Molotovs, not successfully, and the MCV gets crushed by the Guardian tank. Oof, that was a massive loss. I believe he does have a Crusher Crane somewhere. There it is. But losing your MCV to that is not good. Does get one of the Peacekeepers there with the Bears. Now I got this force advanced, but the Magenta player, the Soviet player, does have a massive force. Should be able to push through this base here, but that Cryo Blast is probably off cooldown, and maybe a Cryogeddon at this point in time. Oh, I suppose we can take a quick look since they're being a little bit passive.
Athena Satnet, how may I
And it's just a
assist
Cryo
you?
Blast at the moment, but it is almost off cooldown. It's off cooldown. That may have been a little bit too early. A lot of conscripts get frozen out, Bullfrog as well, but nothing critical. And that stuff can get unfrozen given enough time. We do got Athena cannon deployed on out. Heard that audio line.
Who's looking for a good pounding?
And one of the hammer tanks do go down, and the Terror drone
Something up.
that popped out of it also got destroyed. Bear does get crushed by the Guardian tank here, and the heroic one, the one that crushed the MCV, does get killed off as well. Peacekeeper sword just running his way forward. It's not exactly great either. The Cryocopter's getting some much needed repairs from the armor facility. Command hub has been pulled out. Multiple command hubs have been pulled on out. And now got a flank of these javelin troops. Getting some good hits there. Third one does clean up the last one. And now these hammer tanks are getting picked off by the Athena cannon, who's currently elite. Now fully heroic Athena cannon. Ooh, I think that Prospector got a crush on the shrunken hammer tank there. That one does get destroyed by the Vindicator as well, and Athena cannon should be able to finish that one off. It takes out the air drone while at it with the Mirage tank. Hammer tank goes down as well. Vindicator does receive quite a bomb or shots there from the Bullfrogs, but still alive. It's fully it's elite at the moment. It gets fully heroic, does have some self-health regen. And we'll likely get heroic in this bombing run. And it does get heroic and immediately gets shot down based on that flak cannon right there. Can be a bit hard to see as shown by this angle there, even with all the health bars. There's so many health bars in that region, you may not realize it's even there. Athena cannon does get cleaned up there. Got some various javelin troops and the multi-gunner IFVs. Mirage tank is still very much alive. Got a handful of Bullfrogs in the region as well. We do have what appears to be a Desolator strike now being brought on in. And the Apollo's now getting gunned down by the Bullfrogs. This expansion point has not been claimed, while this one has. Up here we do have a bear. I'm not sure what's actually cast in over here, but that Prospector is quite wounded. Could have been some satellites, because seeing there's some damage right here as well. I think level 1 satellites was brought on in. Good damage there, and they got the cash bounty now being activated on these forces, but the Twin Blades are getting ripped apart. Does take out the Mirage tank there. Does take out one of the MiGs as well. You get towards that Crusher crane to get some good amount of heals. Extraction Yard is getting hit, and those Cryocopters do get hit as well. We got these multi-gunner IFVs does get hit quite significantly, and now got a full Cryo-Geddon. Splits were not that good. This hammer tank may get frozen as well. Nope, it does not get frozen. It does get shield, however, slowing it down, reduces the fire output and things of that sort. Twin Blades do manage to break on through as well. There's still some javelin troops in this region, which Blue should be able to get quickly gunned down. And Orange has lost his army, but overall he does have more economy going. Though Purple still has the oil derrick, Orange of course does not, but down to those conscripts. He's getting some good hits there on these Twin Blades now, forcing them back. And that MiG does get shot down as well. While those MiGs are being shot down by the anti-aircraft forces, whatever he crushed, he got himself a free terror drone while at it. Very nice. Multi-gunner turret does go down there, so does the Prospector. A lot of command hubs here. You could sell off some of these to get some, could have sold them off to get a bit of a cash refund, cash rebate. Good hits and kills coming out by those Apollos, but one 2 goes down. Let's get the multi-gun IFV snared right there. And nice little infect there on the Prospector as well. If he brings it down, he doesn't need to get down to the low ground. He can bring it up here to get it repaired up. And he will likely not make it by going to low ground. And in fact, it's just sort of stopping there as well, so likely will get destroyed. Athena Cannon is getting leached down quite significantly. Getting that will allow him to get himself a free Athena Cannon. I'll say go for it. I would have gone for the kill there. Getting that kill not only denies the artillery, but also gets himself some artillery. Twin Blades finding some good damage there onto the MCV. Does throw a multi-gun turret there. You start hitting the MCV itself. Take it out. Does get the Terror Drone in the mix as well. Does get the multi-gun turret. And will be destroyed. Looks like he did leech it down with this hammer tank here because it got fully heroic. It does not become a construction vehicle, however. A handful of Tesla troops here. A good number of Tesla troops here. Sells off the boot camp there. The multi-gun IFVs could be quickly picked off, especially by these hammer tanks. Nope, that Apollo's dead. This ore mine has not been selected. Not selected. Refined whatsoever. And Deployments does come forward as well. He does keep the oil Garrick alive, but he engages with those twin blades and not these handful of hammer tanks and Tesla troopers and all of those forces there. And there's no anti-aircraft forces in this region at the moment. So these twin blades will be cleaned on up. That Apollo may be almost out of ammo as well. This airstrike does connect. Flak Trooper getting some good hits in as well. Melts one of his own Flak Troopers there. Gun turns now receiving quite a bit of fire there. It does throw some troops there. Looks like maybe eyeing for some aggression. Got some Mirage tanks, however, in this region. Mirage tanks can't shatter units, but they at least can do severe damage, and if the unit can't fight back, it can't fight back. Does net himself a little flak weapon there now. 3 Mirage tanks is a good number, but there's a large number of hammer tanks here as well, but great shrinks. Mirage tanks should not be engaging. It's a little bit too much for them at the moment. Prospector being rebuilt for this refinery as well. 4 Mirage tanks, now that's a good number. And the Soviet MCV is now eyeing to perhaps proxy something. MCV is now getting froze or chilled. Take a bit of time there. Apollo's flying, once again flying over the bullfrogs. It does get fully frozen there. Deny, stop the capture, whatever is in there. Doesn't need to use a laser lock, just need to throw a regular missile there. Though he may actually be out of range for regular missiles. An engineer can be used to capture something. Refinery does go down there. Combat engineers lounge around that pontoon. And the dog does go in and eat the popsicle that was given for him. Nice meat popsicle. The Wounded Twin Blade is a heroic one, so we'll get some self-repairs. Let's sell off the Mushigong there before. See the missile barrage there. Very good sell there. It does take up the heroic Apollos there, and the other Apollo does go down as well. The Allied MCV is advancing with the Mirage tanks. There's 4 Mirage tanks, handful of Javelin troops, as well as a couple of very supporting units. No Javelin troops inside these garrisons. And the Prospector does go down there. This one will be hit as well. Oh, and this force was left out to dry. And that's going to be a very, very long freeze. Of course, the hammer tanks do not get shatter effects there, but like I said beforehand, if they can't fight back, they can't fight back. The entire force now got cleaned up, and now we got a unvetted, veteran, elite, heroic, and now another elite Mirage tank there. And this may be the end of the game. Losing that army there is quite harmful, though we've got the Twin Blades not coming to respawn, but these Mirage tanks do quite a bit of damage versus the infrastructure. Let's get some kills there, very nice. Gets another fully heroic one. The other heroic ones have been focused down first. Got an Inferior Drone Infect as well. And he does get the kill down the last of the Mirage tanks. Oh, what was that? Some big explosion happened there. Almost like it was a super reactor. Sales of the structure. I think the Allied players are backing out the game? What was that? It actually still has a construction yard. It's trying to get another refinery up and going. No prospector here. This prospector is being rebuilt. So what was that? Peacekeeper should be able to... Oh, there's Tesla troopers inside that garrison. Okay, I was not expecting Tesla troopers to be inside that garrison. I didn't think he was either. Peacekeeper will find the MCV packed on up and backing away. We've got a flak cannon and a Tesla coil here as well. Sells off the refinery there, sells off... Was that the MCV? That was the engineer inside. Yep, and that's the end of the game. I have no idea what happened to the Allied player right there. Either way, this is Anagrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. So now looking at the time, it's getting at the... It's pretty late right now for me. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream now. Everyone, thank you for watching. Have a good evening.